Welcome back to the Oklahoma Venture Forum podcast. Today, I'm with Rick Nagel, the top guy at Acorn Growth. We're talking about aerospace today, and particularly what you guys do and your insights and your thoughts on aerospace in the future of Oklahoma, right?
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, so just for everybody, we're a private equity firm. We do exclusively aerospace, defense, intel, and now space is our core investment thesis, which aligns perfectly with the state's second largest industrial sectors, aerospace and defense.
So the second largest sector, you're a major player. You have thoughts on what the future looks like for aerospace in Oklahoma, particularly on the business side.
Oh, for sure. First of all, the nice thing about investing in a sector like this, we have a lot to start with and work from. We are primarily and historically been a maintenance, repair, modernization, upgrade, and sustainment state, anchored by Tinker Air Force Base in Oklahoma City and their mission of maintaining aircraft systems for the Air Force, and then the equivalent of that and all the ecosystem that surrounds it in Tulsa around American Airlines. But we've also got innovation, we've got design engineering, production of new aircraft parts, and leaping forward, new technologies when you think about electrification of aircraft, vertical takeoff and lift, unmanned aerial systems, the sensors, the drones, and how you're going to manage that airspace. That ecosystem is already here.
All things that definitely are going to play a role in the future of aviation, aerospace, and space.
And space, which now has been commercialized.
Right.
Every week we're seeing everybody else go up and putting new folks into orbit, now affordably, and using the private sector, not government, to create the pathways to competition.
So speaking of the private companies that have been launching, they're launching from something called the spaceport. We have a spaceport in Oklahoma.
We do have a spaceport in Oklahoma. It's a little landlocked right now for the technology with what's going up today. We haven't figured out how to do it 100% yet. I mean, there's still a risk in launching rockets, and when they come down, where they're not supposed to, you don't want to hurt anybody. But that said, I think there's a path for Oklahoma to play a meaningful role with space, and that chapter's not yet been written.
Also on the national stage, when we talk about space, we talk about NASA, and you recently added someone to the company who came directly from NASA.
An exciting addition for all of us. Jim Bridenstine, of course, former congressman from Tulsa, served under Trump as the NASA administrator for 3 years and oversaw the return of American astronauts launching into space on American rockets off American soil. No more partnership needed with our friends in Russia. We were able to get him back to Oklahoma. We've got him full-time with us here at Acorn, and he's leading the way and charting our investment thesis for space.
So as we talk about aerospace and the expansion into space and all of the things that you are currently investing in and looking towards for the future, how does that also affect all of the multiple industries that support those areas within Oklahoma?
Well, it's a very integrated supply chain. We're hearing a lot about supply chains right now, given what's going on with the world and COVID and everything disrupted. When it comes to defense in particular, it's been traditionally a Buy America, program through and through. So those supply chains have not been as disrupted. Raw material shortages are what they are, but Oklahoma's supply chain is incredibly robust. Product is still moving. And overall, our missions are still being fulfilled.
Excellent. I can't wait to hear your presentation today to the members. I know they're looking forward to learning more about how Oklahoma continue to be a player in this sector and the sectors surrounding it, 2022, 2025, 2030, and 2050.
A lot of it's just continue to do what we do, continue to innovate, stay ahead of the curve, and look to where this whole industry is moving towards. We are positioned as well, if not better than any other state or any other place in the world to excel and leverage all that critical infrastructure we already have, and I'm excited to see it unfold.
Another aspect of Oklahoma Venture Forum, of course, is trying to connect early stage or even pre-launch businesses to people who do investments, who do finance, who participate with them at higher levels. What piece of advice would you give anyone who is early stage or is maybe to the point where they could pitch a company like Acorn?
Well, so, not a real short answer, but I'll try to distill it like this. First of all, think about your location. You want to be located in an area where you've got a lot of critical infrastructure, you've got quick access to customers and markets. Again, if you're in aerospace or defense, there's really no better place to be than Oklahoma. Secondly, seek value-added partners, not just money, but know-how that comes with it, and be open-minded to the advice that you're going to get, because when you're starting something new, the chances are somebody who's investing in that has invested in other things that are new and seen it work, not work. So be open-minded to the things that they're telling you. And lastly, be realistic about your valuation. So many deals don't get done because founders and innovators are just a little unrealistic at that moment in time about what it's worth. There's a lot of effort that got to take from idea board to product somebody's purchasing. Worry about valuation down the line. Do what you can to get started.
Some fantastic advice. Appreciate it very much. Looking forward to your presentation today.
I look forward to it as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Kyle. Why aerospace and defense, which is why you all asked me to come speak here today. And really, we're investing alongside two trends. First of all is this insatiable demand of the planet to fly as a means of tourism, commerce, and kind of all forms in between of trade and transport for cargo. If you track the statistic of global air passenger miles flown, notwithstanding COVID, it's been really a 100-year run of about 2 to 4% minimum growth in global flight activity. Over the last kind of 40 years, it is tracked at a rate of over 5%, and in any recessionary period, always auto-corrects within 18 months. So it's a nice, steady trend line. It's a highly regulated space. Safety is obviously paramount, and it's really one of those once you're in, you're in. And so we invest in the supply chain, both production and sustainment of aircraft, commercial, military cargo, general aviation as well, and those statistics hold pretty well. Never until COVID had we seen really a global shutdown of the aerospace. You've seen pockets of it, 9/11, of course, the US shut down the airspace, but Europe, Asia, Africa were still flying. You've had SARS, where kind of shut down Asia, but the US and Europe still flew. You had the Ukrainian crisis, shut down a little bit of Europe's airspace. You had a volcano off of Iceland for a while that shut down airspace, but the US and Asia still flew. So this was kind of unique. People were projecting it was going to take about 3.5 years to get some kind of notion of recovery. It's been rebounding much faster than that. In the United States, we fly at about 2.4 million people per day. And, we've been tracking up, kind of in the right below 2 million mark, notwithstanding the recent Southwest Airlines fund we've all been reading about. So commercial trends are strong. On the defense market side, it's always been Buy America. It's a cornerstone of the U.S. economy. It's an area that we export our technology to our allies around the globe, and our goal to kind of maintain and keep the peace. And if somebody wants to mess with us, be able to project power around the planet as needed and immediately. Powered here in Oklahoma by Tinker Air Force Base, which is really the lead sustainment center for the Air Force, making sure all of our large weapon systems and logistics platforms operate on time.